Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This brown sexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
And away we go on this Thursday. Good morning. Welcome to the Tripped Out Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Happy to have you with us. If you're interested in sponsoring this here program, drop an email to snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. That's snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. Lots of corrections to be made with the peripherals. We'll do that over the course of the weekend. And man, we got a lot of stuff going on. And to one of our network carriers, the Shady Sports Network, very important announcement. At 10 a.m. Eastern, the Albany Empire are holding a live press conference to announce Antonio Brown and his father, Eddie, and an AFL legend, I remember Eddie Brown, will be joining the ownership. Eddie will assist in day-to-day operations. I cannot wait to see that conference. Inside the Fanatics Feedback Zone, presented by Fanatics, Bob Hildberg, my good buddy, says good morning from Boston. Good morning to you. Victor Locke from Chicago. Good morning. Throwback Thursday is in the air. The question for today: what was the best baseball series back in the day? Major League, I got two of them: Major League Baseball on NBC and Monday Night Baseball on ABC, both of which I've had the theme of. Uh, then he says could be regular season, playoff, or World Series. Well, for me, 2005. That's my favorite World Series of all time because I got a chance to celebrate with my dad. I love you, Pops, and I miss you. All right. We'll do more of the Throwback Thursday question later. Right now, we got to get down to business with the whip around. And wait, I forgot to press a button. As of right now, let me welcome those of you listening on WLEO 26.7 online radio in Baltimore, Maryland, and all of our other streaming networks from Milwaukee to Chicago and others. Now I can get down to business. And we start with the Rip Around presented by Fanatics. Leading off on the Whip Around today, Brian Flores' lawsuit against the NFL is allowed to proceed in court. A federal judge in New York ruled Wednesday that Brian Flores' lawsuit against the NFL and several of its teams can proceed, though some of the suit's claims must be handled in a confidential arbitration process. The ruling handed down by U.S. District Judge Valerie Caproni in Manhattan will allow Flores to continue to litigate his claims of systematic discrimination against the NFL and three of its teams, the Broncos, the Texans, and the New York Football Giants. However, as I'm reading from USA Today, Flores' claim against the Dolphins and similar claims made by co-plaintiffs Ray Horton and Steve Wilkes against their former teams must instead be resolved behind closed doors. Under league rules, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell would either serve as arbitrator or appoint one. That should frighten you right there. Roger Goodell serving as arbitrator. There's some unfairness going on here. General Manager Tom Telesco of the Chargers on Wednesday ended speculation that the organization could move on from 10-year wide receiver Keenan Allen. He said, quote, Keenan Allen isn't going anywhere, close quote. He told that to reporters at the NFL scouting combine in Indianapolis, Indiana. With the Chargers currently $20 million over the salary cap, according to overthecap.com, it has been widely speculated that the 31-year-old receiver could be traded or released. He is scheduled to earn $15.5 million in 2023, with $21.7 million charged against the salary cap. If released, the Bolts would save $14.8 million against the cap. Look, keep him. All right, he's one of your best players. Keep him. Just keep him. The world champion Warriors are showing cautious optimism that Steph Curry will return from his leg injury during the team's 3-game road trip next week. Sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski on Wednesday. He hasn't played since February 4th when he suffered partial tears to his superior trapephibular ligaments and interossous membrane, as well as a contusion to his lower left leg when the knee collided with one of the Dallas Mavericks point guard McKinley Wright's knees. The Warriors said this past Wednesday that Curry was making good progress in his recovery, and he had been set for another reevaluation this week. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the craziest man on the panel, my dearest friend and my partner, that man in charge of Goal Sports with a Z, Cole Johnson. Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Craziest? Wow.
Folks, in case you missed it yesterday, I mean, how does Fred Hickman put it? I'm here to list it in case you
In case you
missed it.
missed it.
See, Cole Johnson has this. What's the song? "Insane in the Membrane."
Oh, the Cypress Hill song. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. His insanity in the membrane created this.
Trays, 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 trays. Trays, 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 tray, trays, 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 trays.
You ain't got a lick of sense. That's a whip around presented by Fanatics.
I
I just have one simple question.
Mhm.
What the hell were you thinking?
I looked. I've looked back at it. Now it's almost 24 hours. I
Yes,
still laugh almost as hard as I did when I unveiled it.
I thought you were gonna fall out of your chair
Oh gosh.
when you unveiled it, because if y'all know the skits that we have on the show, Cole's intention, is to get Wise or myself
Mhm.
to fall out laughing.
Yeah.
Which is very much appreciated.
Mhm.
But Cole broke himself yesterday.
Yeah.
It's one of those old men laugh where you just look and you just finally build up and then you lose it.
Yeah. Because I was trying to hold it.
I know you were trying to catch yourself.
I was trying to hold it,
You
try
were-
to catch myself.
You
It
were
just
trying
wasn't.
so hard to catch yourself after it came back to you, after the camera came back to you.
Mhm.
You were trying so hard to hold it, and you
Yeah.
just couldn't.
No.
There
It-
was no chance of
Mm-mm.
Cole Johnson holding that laughter.
No. And it was a combination of I unveiled this thing that I knew
Mhm.
was going to work, and I'm glad it
Yep.
did. And then I'm looking at the other two at the other two panels back in the backstage on StreamYard, and when in the beginning of it, I knew you were probably going to fall.
Oh, I
I was
was
like,
done.
okay.
I was done.
When I saw Wise do the same thing at the same time, I was cooked. Because I was like, yes, and oh my gosh, this is funny all at the same time. And then if I had a chance to hold it, it wasn't going to happen with you laughing hysterically and Wise trying to compose himself, but laughing himself too when when the
Compose
camera came back to me.
ourselves when we see that. Not a chance. Not
I
a
was like, oh
chance.
my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh.
That was perfect.
Oh,
Man.
Ryan later on said to me, he says, man, and this was like around 3:30 in the afternoon. He says, I'm still laughing at the fact that what you did and you broke yourself. It was hilarious.
I
was
saw
like,
it in the
wow.
live chat yesterday. Someone
Yeah.
said Cole broke himself.
Yeah, that was
Because
Ryan.
You know his plan is to break us. You
Mhm.
know, when we do that segment every Wednesday, his plan
Right.
is to break us.
Mhm.
But to see you break within character,
Yes.
within
Mhm.
character,
Mhm.
I must have gone back and watched that several times yesterday.
Uh-huh.
My wife came in.
Oh man. Now this I got to hear.
All she did was shake her head. You know how you unveil something to your significant other and they just shake their head and give you this, what the hell is that look? That's the look I got from Jody.
Mission accomplished again. Yes.
Each time you've done the city field, she's turned into Teddy Pendergrass. Turn it
Oh.
off.
I'm about to say I'm probably gonna nickname her, call her the White Teddy Pendergrass every time I do the city
Yep.
fit.
Yep. It works. Because she'll start walking away saying, turn it off. Turn it off. a break, and then when we come back, we got some more stuff for you. Jaylen Brown, WNBA agent and NIL consultant, will join at the bottom of hour 2, and of course, you know who's here at the bottom of hour 1 as the doors of Paelia will open with Cole Johnson. I'm the Snowman. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
Man, I went home that day and talked to my wife, Vicky. And Vicky was like, "What's wrong with you? You pissed off?" "Yeah, I got this partner I'm working with back in the radio station. Man. The Negro be lying. What in the all types of blue hell?"
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Negro be lying. Oh my
The legend that is Chris Bass. Want to help us out? Drop us a cash app. The tags you need are Tall Man Dr. K50 with the $ in front for yours truly, and $ host Cole Johnson for Cole for Cole. So
yeah, real quick. Who hates Chris Bass?
Who would think about hating Chris Bass? Why would you think about hating Chris Bass?
Exactly, because if you do, you taking one of these.
Now, further proof that Joe Montana is the greatest of all time at quarterback.
I knew you would love this story when I pulled it.
Damn straight. The jersey worn by Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana in not one, but 2 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Has sold for $1.2 million with buyer's premium obliterating the record paid for a football jersey at auction. The jersey was brokered through Collectibles Marketplace Golden. The previous record was $480,000 paid for a 2021 Tom Brady jersey in January.
Mm-hmm.
Take that, Bradyites. That feels good. The morning of the latter Super Bowl victory, Super Bowl 23, Joe Montana's wife, Jennifer, pulled the jersey from a scrapbook, packed it in Joe's stadium bag with a note, quote, "Maybe you want to wear it again," close quote. So he listened to his wife, Ward, and then took the 49ers on a game-winning drive with John Candy in the audience at Joe Robbie Stadium, Miami. And Jerry Rice was the Super Bowl MVP. Montana set a then record 357 yards, passing yards. You know how big of a And on top of that, a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, sent me a clip. All this discussion about Tom Brady being the greatest and all this kind of BS since Brady retired. Well, listen to the words of Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor.
That ain't funny.
Oh, y'all didn't hear that, did you?
No.
Let me play it again. And this is from one of the hardest hitting linebackers, Hall of Fame linebackers that terrorized the 49ers. I mean, absolutely terrorized the 49ers. I mean, those Giants own 3 victories over San Francisco, 2 of the Meadowlands, 1 in Candlestick Park.
Yeah, no team in that era played the 49ers harder than the Giants.
Nope.
No other team. And that's by far.
He said, Joe Montana is still my man. That's a quote. Joe Montana is still my guy. That's Lawrence Taylor, the anchor of one of the roughest defenses in history, with Leonard Marshall in the bunch. I mean, do your research, Bradyites. Lawrence Taylor terrorized Joe Montana. Leonard Marshall terrorized Joe Montana. And Leonard Marshall knocked him out in the conference championship game in 1990 on an absolute clean hit.
I've said on air and off air that today, and it's now 32 years later, that's the cleanest legal hit I've ever seen anybody ever take.
Yep. That was all the way clean.
Mm-hmm.
That was that was all the way clean. I don't care what
it was nasty, but it was clean. I was like,
and this
ooh.
is coming from a 49er fan.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from a San Francisco 49er fan. When I saw that hit on January 13th, 1991, I just cringed.
Yeah.
We all cringed. There was like
Yeah.
20 of us watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
There were 20 of us watching the game. And man, that was one of those games. Even if you had a rooting interest, you didn't have it that day.
Mm-mm. And he was pancaked in that play.
Yes, he was.
That's what makes it even more remarkable. I was like, oh man, he did not give up on that play. Wow. Yeah.
Steve Wallace pancaked him.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't Steve Wallace. I beg your pardon. That was Bubba Paris.
Yeah, it was Bubba Paris.
That was William Bubba Paris.
Yeah. He was coming from the 49ers end, the left tackle end.
He was coming from the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And Bubba Paris and Steve Wallace anchored that left tackle position.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the only reasons Bubba Paris had starts in 1990s because Steve Wallace broke his leg at Super Bowl 23. And they were still working him back into the fray.
2 years later. Wow. Mm.
Yeah. He broke his Wallace broke his leg in Super Bowl 23, and then Bubba Paris retired, and then Steve Wallace took that position back.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Blood in the house. What's up, Snowman? Gonna listen while I work today. Have a great show. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
If you haven't checked out It's in the Blood, check out that channel. Of course, we got Ryan McCoffey in the house with us from No Credentials Required. Good day, Snow Crew. Big announcements from the Albany Empire. Reportedly, touchdown Eddie Brown and Antonio Brown are joining the Empire's ownership group.
So we're
can't wait for that.
So we're not talking about Antonio Brown.
No.
Good.
Actually, yeah, because
oh Lord,
Antonio Clown is Eddie Brown's offspring. And I remember number 17, touchdown Eddie Brown.
No. I'm sorry.
I know. I know.
Explain. I'm sorry.
You don't have to explain. The Playmaker joins us from Jacksonville. Good morning, fellas in chat. Good morning to you. Bizzle joins us. Big time Dolphin fan. Good morning to you. And of course, one of my buddies, Bob Hildberg from Baston.
Bob
joining us here.
Could you join us again, brother?
And breaking news. Quentin Dormady, formerly of the XFL's Orlando Guardians, caught giving opposing immediately released upon conclusion of investigation. Mitch Kidd not expected to be re-signed. You idiot.
Giving opposing QB play. Wow. Dude.
Well,
dude.
Quentin Dormady.
Yeah, you ruined your professional career.
And not only did you ruin your professional career, you took a massive craptacular idiot. Just plain idiot. Let me update on everybody on what's going on. There's a secret I have been holding, and it depended on my physical health, but given the news, when the wife and I get settled, we are expanding the show to 4 hours. Because it's gonna be during football season, because there's never enough football to go around. Ever. And there's so much more that we're going to do. So if you get a chance, Cole, if you would drop the link in the chat, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join us on this journey, and let's have some fun. Take a break. When we come back, Chris Dietz will join us as we approach the bottom of the hour. I told my crew we have to tighten up the show, and yesterday I had technical difficulties, which I'm going to go solve today, but that is later. This is now Back in a Flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for Monday. Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Because we take this job so serious.
I'm sorry. I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God. Brother guest, I'm so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
It most certainly is with Cole Johnson. I'm the Snowman, and the folks in the Fanatics Feedback Zone. Welcome to y'all. See, when an NFL legend by the name of Lawrence Taylor says Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback, all I can do is smile. And he gave a very good reason when he said Tom Brady has all the rules in his favor.
Which he's one, that's true, and two, he's not the first former NFL player I've heard say that.
What do you often say? That lie can't be found.
Yeah, that lie can't be found.
You know what made Tom Brady's career a rule that was only used once,
and then it was abused for a few years to justify it until they finally nullified it.
And then they finally nullified it. 3 years too late. It's 3 years too late. Mike Francesa even said, the greatest regular season quarterback is Peyton Manning,
which is true,
and the greatest Super Bowl quarterback is Montana,
which is true.
I mean, this is Mike Francesa, a New York sports talk legend, as they call him, the sports pope of New York. He said that on ESPN's First Take.
Yep.
Actually, when he said, I'm going to throw a little oil on the celebration. And this is right after Brady announced his retirement.
Not throw oil on celebration. He threw truth into it because that's the truth.
That's all he did. And yet Cole and I are accused of not knowing our sports. You know what? There's a certain troll that sent me a list of quarterbacks he said that was greater than Montana. Brady, of course, led it off. Marino, Drew Brees, and Warren Moon.
Okay. All right.
Wait. Okay. I have said this about Brady, and I will continue to say it. Everything Brady has accomplished, matter of fact, give you one achievement that Brady and Montana share, which is multiple Super Bowl MVPs, at least 3 of them. Yes, Brady has 5 Super Bowl MVPs. Can't deny that. Who was the first to win 3?
Well, that would be Montana.
Thank you. And I've had so many I got to get that graphic back up. I had so many conversations with Bradyites throughout the season. And they're like, why won't you say Brady's the greatest? I said, because I've seen greatness and he wore 16, not 12. Let me say that again. I will not ever crown Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time because the greatest of all time wore 16, not 12. When Bart Starr, Johnny Unitas, and others in the introduction of a Monday Night Football game in 1989 say that Montana's the best they've ever seen play, game, set, match. Game, set, match. All they want to say Tom Brady's the greatest is because all of the stats that he's compiled over 22 years. Well, let me say this. Montana played 13 injury-riddled seasons and has had more of an impact on the NFL and the quarterback position in 13 years than Tom Brady has had in 22 years. Find the lie.
Oh. And Victor says, and then comes the gnashing of teeth of people calling you old and telling you to get with the times. Well,
really?
Hey, I got with the times. I'm sorry. And I've said this in a room full of Bradyites. I said, erase 3 Februaries. And then I will call Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time.
Man, you said that here. You've said that here.
Yeah. Until you do. And I've actually said this.
And I took part of that for for the afternoon intro. You took part of that and put it in the afternoon show intro. And I love you for that.
Oh, no problem. I said, until you do, Brady to me, and he can't climb any higher, he will always be to me the third greatest quarterback I've ever seen.
1 and 2 are
Montana and Unitas.
I've
studied enough.
I totally can live with that.
Yeah,
I totally can live with that. All Brady has done is Brady is the most accomplished. In terms of achievements, and you can't find the lie there. There are no lies to be found there. And I've said that. I've said that.
And I've said
quarterback playing 22 years.
I've said this for years. I said basically Tom Brady is the NFL's version of LeBron James.
Yep.
I mean, being most accomplished or most prolific does not guarantee you're the greatest at something.
Until you can erase 3 Februaries.
Yeah. You erase them. You erase those 3 Februaries.
And he is.
Then he is.
Period. With all the records.
Yes.
And everything. But you cannot erase 3 Februaries.
Because I've seen him on the biggest stage fail multiple times. I'm sorry.
I've seen him on the biggest stage choke. I mean, Bradyites don't want to hear it, but he choked.
Yeah. And I say this understanding I don't have an axe to grind about Brady.
No.
I don't hate the guy.
None whatsoever. I don't have an axe to grind either. All right, time to get totally deets.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Open the doors of Vahalia. Chris Dietz has arrived. Good morning, my friend. Great to have you.
Morning, guys. What's going on?
Doing good, man. How are you?
All right, Dietz. What's on the docket? Because the last 2 weeks, you've made this entire panel turn upside down.
All right, so
go for it.
There's not much going on in the entertainment world, but
Surprised.
there is one story that should bring. Well, let me just say this: it brings a smile to my face.
A smile to your face. Okay. What story brings that smile to said face?
And that is, so we talked about last week. We talked about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
Yeah,
now
we did.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, in the second week that it was out, second weekend, had a 71% drop in viewership.
Drop.
And not only that, if that were the case, then just to be completely honest, that is the biggest drop of any movie in the history of movies.
And I think this sounds necessary.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, I thought I thought you was going to say it's the biggest drop of that you've ever witnessed.
That applies too.
But as
he says it's getting worse.
Yeah,
How does it get worse?
But as Sticky Fingers and Honor said, but when it gets worse. Okay, go ahead.
Not only did it drop so much, it dropped so much in viewership that it got beaten at the box office by Cocaine Bear. It made me smile. That is, and look, I've seen all the trailers for Cocaine Bear. It looks fantastic. It looks like an awesome movie. But there's no way, no how Cocaine Bear should be beating a Marvel movie at the box office in its second week. There's no reason for that other than Marvel's done. Marvel's done.
Marvel's finished.
Well, I guess Ant-Man the Wasp blows to blow.
But
Ant-Man,
a bear that does cocaine just beat a Marvel movie.
I know that in the second week of a Marvel movie being out. Yeah, that's a ringing indictment against the franchise to me. Yeah.
Hey, Marvel, you just took a massive craptacular. I was on the road last week, and Lord have mercy, your evisceration of Ant-Man and the Wasp, legendary.
With just one line at that.
Would you do me a favor, Dietz, and repeat that line that eviscerates the movie?
Oh, the line that not only ruins the movie, has ruined Marvel, has ruined Disney. That would be
quote
socialism. I know it's a trigger word, but we can learn a lot from it. Yeah, you know what you can learn from it? You can learn $4 billion in losses.
Close quote.
That's what you can learn. You can learn socialism and the embracing that Disney and Marvel have done. $2.6 billion in losses this quarter. This quarter alone. And Disney Plus has lost $4 billion over its streaming service. It's producing a $4 billion hole in their budget. That's what following this socialist garbage it has done to a once proud company.
You know what it made it also? it made it. It's fried. It's done.
I mean, we talked about this. We talked about this on Saturday when I did a makeup version of Fifth Down Sports Show. We went on Saturday, and Rod and I were on, and we talked about this. You know, in the 90s, when you wanted wholesome, when you wanted a go-to family movie, you went to a Disney film.
Absolutely.
And now you have people like, and I'll shout people out. It's okay. Now you have people like Shad from Night's Watch, another YouTuber, who says, I will not let my kid watch a Disney product unless I've seen it first.
And you never thought
that's how far they've fallen.
You never thought those words would pass from a parent's lips ever about anything Disney.
Nope.
That right there, even if Disney still makes money, that right there is a de-evolution of the brand.
And once upon a time, Disney ruled Sunday nights.
Yes.
Because every Sunday night, Disney had a movie on.
Had a movie.
Network television, by the way.
Network television, family-friendly movie. Yeah.
And everybody gathered around to watch that movie, no matter what it is. Now, you have parents saying, I better take a look at this before I let my child watch it.
When did you ever think you would ever hear a parent say that about a Disney movie?
I never thought I'd hear that.
Never.
Ever. I never thought I would hear that.
And to your point about your friend Deeds, he's right in saying that.
He's absolutely right. I can't speak because I don't have any children of my own, but I would be the same. I would be the same way. And I do have friends of mine who have kids, and I will not recommend any of these Disney products to watch to their kids.
My own daughter, Sonia, said the same thing to me. I was picking her up from work, and we talked about how far Disney has fallen. She said the same thing. She said, if I ever have kids, I gotta screen Disney movies now. And because the product is tanked, to say the least, the product is tanked.
Jeez.
Like when I was growing up, Toy Story. That was one of the best movies you could watch.
Agreed.
You could watch as a kid. You could watch that as an adult. You could watch it with your kids. You could watch it. You could put it on the TV, leave the room, go clean, and have your kids sit in front of it and be entertained for 3 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They come out and put out a Buzz Lightyear movie, and they have to inject gay politics into it. And brainwashing your child. Like, no parent in their right mind is going to be like, hey, you know what? It's a good family outing. Let's put on some Buzz Lightyear and watch it with our kid. No one's going to watch. No one's doing that.
No.
I don't know who these movies are made. I don't know who they're making these movies for. That's the problem with what they're doing. Is the people they've just basically said, you know what, our core audience, who cares? We don't want them anymore. Okay, well, the evidence is in it. That audience is finding something else to do and finding other places to put their money. Hence the $2.6 billion hole that y'all ate last quarter.
Victor
and it's not coming back.
with more about to be eaten in the next 3 quarters.
Look at all the agendas that are being forced into Disney shows, says Victor, i.e. the Proud
Family.
Oh, the Proud Family is one of the most horrible things I've ever seen.
Horrific. I mean, really? That's all I could say. Really?
I mean, the funny thing about the Proud Family and all of that is what they tried to do is what they wanted to do is make a cartoon that shows, that uplifts the Black community.
Yep.
And in a way, all they did is take every stereotype you could think of
and stick it
throw it into that show and put a stain on the African American community.
And that's why I have not watched 1 minute of that show.
Nor have I.
For that reason right there, sir. Thank you. Thank you for crystallizing and
I watched
summarizing the reason why I would not want to watch
trailer of it, and I went, how did this get through? What? I was like, this has to be a joke. A joke.
Mm-hmm.
And
all I had to see was the title of said show. All I had to see was the title, and I knew then, like, oh no, there's just no way. There's absolutely no way. Chris Dietz joining us as he does every Thursday. I can't say what the hell has happened to Marvel. I mean, you eviscerated Ant-Man and Wasp.
Well, as I said about Marvel, is Marvel, and again, throwing other people out there because I've watched other people review this, and Gary from Nerdotic, absolutely right. Marvel's not dying. Marvel's not dying. Marvel is dead.
Marvel is beyond.
Marvel's toast.
If you want any further proof of that, they have canceled. They have pushed back the release of every Disney Plus show that they have an idea for. They've pushed them out indefinitely. Now, what that means in terms of the industry, those shows are never they're never going to see the light of day. They're pushed back. They pushed back the Marvels, which is the next big movie. They pushed that back to November because we just got the poster for it. We haven't seen a trailer. We haven't seen a behind the scenes footage. There's a reason for that. They know this movie's garbage. They know that when this movie comes out, everybody's hair is going to light on fire. And they just want to get through Guardian. I mean, the only reason I disagree with Gary is Marvel's last breath is Guardians 3. That's it. That's the list. And I know we've talked about this. I think Cole, it was you that said your wife doesn't even like Guardians. So
no, she doesn't at all.
For those of us that have watched Marvel, Guardians 3 is the last hurrah. It's James Gunn, his before he went off to DC. This is his last hurrah of, these are my characters. I'm going to finish out the trilogy because I said I would. I'm going to do it. So it's going to be character driven. It's going to be done right.
Yep.
But after this, there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing, they've eroded all. It used to be, all right, any Marvel thing that comes out, Kevin Feige's involved. We know there's a plan.
Mm-hmm.
All of that goodwill has been eroded by all the crap that they've thrown out that has not met the bar. Everybody is now saying, you know what? I don't need to see this. I'll skip this one, see what happens. And that was never the case. This is what's happened. This is why this company has eroded. And they have just let everything go to waste. And it's sad as a comic book fan. Like, this was a great time, and now everything is in the crapper. And now the only comic book thing we have to look forward to is Ezra Miller's Flashpoint, which, I mean,
I'll play it again.
I'm a huge Flashpoint fan. I have the comic. I love the comic. It's impossible to screw that comic up, which they're not, because they're going to bring Michael Keaton back as Batman, which is awesome. Everybody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see Michael Keaton back in the Bat costume.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a guy like Ezra Miller as your star, and all the crap that Ezra Miller's gotten into, the movie going public at large is going to go, I don't support this guy, so they're going to check out. And that movie's going to flop. And who knows what that does to DC, because Warner Brothers right now is hurting.
And
these studios are hurting, and they did it to themselves. Like, the only reason we bring it up, the only reason we take revel in it is because they did it to themselves.
Yes.
They have no one else to blame. And the problem is they look at this and they blame the fans. You go out and blame your fans for you putting out shitty product.
No.
You can't blame the fans for being upset that you put something out that's crappy. Or you can't blame the fans that don't go to see your movies anymore. You can't blame the fans. All you can do is look in the mirror and say, this didn't work. We need to do something different, and we need to do it, and we need to course correct. Yeah. They don't course correct at all. Nobody's going to watch their stuff.
And if you thought my wife hated Guardians of the Galaxy, almost anything, for the exception of Aquaman and Wonder Woman, the first one, DC Comics related, oh Lord, craps on it every chance she gets. Hates every single thing other than those two movies unnamed that has been DC Comics stamped.
Well, on that segue, we do have Aquaman 2. We do have Aquaman 2, which is coming out, which, I mean, you can't make this up. DC has a movie starring Ezra Miller coming out, and then their next movie after that is a movie starring Amber Heard. Could you get two more vile people in the world right now? And those are your next two movies coming out.
What did you say?
I mean, I know Jason Momoa is the big star, but
of course,
Amber Heard is supposed to be the co-star in the movie. You can't. They basically have to whitewash her from the entire movie.
Amber Deeds joining us as he does every Thursday. If you oversaturate the market, no one's going to watch. They should have stopped at Avengers Endgame. Let's get the final thoughts from Dietz on that comment.
Well, I mean, I have a video. I have a video in process right now. That's script. I'm writing the script for it right now, entitled "How Black Panther Destroyed the Marvel Universe." And I'm not even talking about Wakanda Forever. I'm talking about the first Black Panther, which was one of the most successful movies of all time.
Right.
But that movie destroyed everything at Marvel, because they started to say, because of what that movie, the response to that movie was, it's a cultural moment. It's this, that, and the other thing. And every single movie since then, Marvel has tried to manufacture a cultural moment. You can't manufacture this stuff. That happened organic. That was
organic.
You know, and my thoughts alone on Black Panther, as a movie, it wasn't even that good.
The movie was okay. Yeah.
As a movie, it was you know, it was basically Civil War all over again. Like, we got the origin story of Black Panther Part 2, which we already had the origin story of Black Panther. Black Panther's best performance was when he came out in Civil War. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Then you got a whole movie of just, all right, we get it. Like, we already got this. Like, go. Like, let's go. Let's get something going. And it doesn't get going until about an hour and a half in. So, my thoughts on Black Panther alone, but the response to it was amazing. Ever since then, they have tried to inject, we're going to get that same, Captain Marvel, we're going to put that out, and it's going to be a beacon for women. Nope. That movie's terrible. It was garbage.
It flopped.
That movie was terrible. And people can say a lot about, I have this fight with my buddy John all the time at the bar. We fight all the time. He says, Marvel hasn't put anything good out since Endgame. And I'm like, they haven't put anything good out since Infinity War. Infinity War, to me, was the pinnacle. It was the height. It's on my list of top 5 movies of all time. It was so good. Infinity War was so good that they were never going to top it. Endgame got close, but they did a lot of things in Endgame that I checked out, and I was like,
the only way they could have topped Infinity War is what happened at the end of Endgame, and that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, we're approaching the top of the hour. Chris Dietz joining us as he does every Thursday at the bottom of hour 1. Thank you, buddy. We love you. We love your work. Check out Fifth Down Sports Show on YouTube. When are you on this? When are you on this week?
We're going tonight because I know you guys probably touched on it, but the NFL Combine opens tonight.
Yeah, it starts today. Yeah.
So we're going to do our annual. We've done this for 6 years now. We are going to do this. Tell everybody how to watch the Combine.
Okay.
Because everybody gets drawn in by the 40-yard dash. Everybody gets drawn in by all the crap that doesn't even matter. And the reason people flock to the Combine is, I want to see a guy do something. I want to see somebody do something. If that's the way you watch the Combine, you're doing it wrong.
You're toast. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Combine is meant, you can have a bad Combine. You can have a bad performance at the Combine and still have it be successful for you, as long as it matches what you do on the field. Yeah. You could have a great Combine, like that kid from the Raiders,
and you suck in pads.
And you're horrible on the field.
And you could run a sub 4.240, and all of a sudden you go, whoa, this guy's really fast. Then you put his tape on and you go, wait, he's really fast, but why is he not fast here? And that could, if I'm an evaluator, I'm going to go, wait, he's really fast, but he's not fast on the field. Something's wrong. I got to find out what's wrong. And that causes you to look deeper into their film and find out why they're not doing that. And that hurts them. So watching the Combine is not about the extraordinary. It's about matching what you see going in. You want to be able to match what people have seen about you. If somebody says you're slow and you run slow at the Combine, they're going to go, all right, well, he's slow, but in pads, he runs quick. In pads, he gets out of cuts quick. In pads, he starts and stops faster than other people. So you don't have to have a great Combine, and you can still be, and people like me will look at it and go, this matches what I have for him. So I don't have to adjust my grade. Now, other people, they'll blow you away and you'll go, wait a minute, where did this guy come from? Let me go back, check the film. And when you watch the film, you're like, yeah, this guy doesn't blow me away. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is what to look for at the Combine and how the Combine can help or hurt you. in the process.
That's Dietz. He joins us every Thursday. Check out Fifth Down Sports Show as he teaches how to watch the combine. Thank you, brother. We love you. Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
thank you guys.
Thank you, man.
Passionate,
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
unflinching,
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
unrelenting,
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
totally
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Time. And this full-blown fibrillation, known as Hour 2 of Snowman in the Morning, begins right now. Time for Hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his third year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2.
The hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2.
The one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2. Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2. That's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2,
YSL.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for Hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now. So, an uneducated basketball fan said something in response to a post that really in edited form, I'll say upset me. Because y'all know what I really want to say. My buddy Andre Morgan, a fellow Chicagoan, wrote the following. Open it.
Quote.
Load this. In MJ's last season at age 40, he played and started all 82 games. He did that 7 times and scored 28.7 a game in his last season. And then the responses happened.
Close quote.
Yeah. Then the responses happened. AJ Smith said, man, who cares about that? Wilt had death threats and ropes hung in his locker. Now what? The hell's that got to do with the fact that MJ played and started all 82 games last year in his final year? The hell's that got to do with anything? Andre Morgan said, you missed my point. Never mind. AJ says, no, I didn't. Just don't understand what he has to do with... I don't understand what he has to do with this generation. Will you please take it from here and get the bishop involved? Because I'm about to cuss, and I don't want to.
Bishop, do you think that brownsexuals have, or any who are modern NBA fans have any lick of sense?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
I invoke the words of Gilbert Gottfried. You fool! And when I said you completely missed the point in talking about load freaking management, I get, oh boy, I get this book of a response. Where is that thing?
Not a book.
Did he erase it? He erased it. Idiot. Hold up. He erased it. He erased it. That half-wit idiot erased his response. No, he didn't. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
All right. Open it.
Good Lord. So this idiot said, quote.
Again, I didn't miss the point. I'm extremely educated. My response just went over your head. The comparison is never needed. What if we compared gambling habits, drinking habits, cocaine use, and players having sex with underage girls? The generations are different, and saying he played all 82 games means nothing. That's me off. What you missed was the comparison to Wilt. It went over your head. It's okay, though. I don't expect guys that deep-throat MJ to understand anything outside of the 90s.
Close quote.
This coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
And for the record, go ahead.
You fool!
Oh, and for the record, ladies and gentlemen, just know. We are completely off the rails.
Again. You fool! You fool! You fool! You fool!
And now batting,
fool!
The man sporting the Yankee fitted number 420. Oh, I'm sorry. And feeling fresh to death with his new cut, number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
What's going on, my brothers?
What's up, man?
Sorry I'm late.
No, you're fine. You came
Did you
just
get your
in time.
coffee?
No, I didn't get my coffee. I brewed it already, but I haven't gotten it yet. I had to record some stuff earlier. Me and Poppy J had to record our show, so that's why I'm late.
Oh wow,
it's all right.
What early? No, that's no problem.
Well, we were supposed to do it yesterday, but he got caught up with some work stuff, and so we had to really record it now to get it ready for tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah. The Yankees won yesterday on a 2-run walk-off.
That's spring training. I don't care about that.
Just
It's spring
saying.
training. If we want to talk about something, to talk about the 7-game winning streak my boys are on.
Oh Lord, he's all about the Knicks.
Boy, yeah. 7 in a row, and we spanked the Brooklyn Mets.
I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you did.
Oh, you see,
that's exactly how it went.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yes, that's how it went. That's how it was.
I'm so glad y'all spanked the Brooklyn Mets because I can't stand those guys. I can't.
Oh my gosh,
y'all.
No,
like you've been asked me.
Lord, Ryan, driving random trash.
You know what, folks? Where's it?
Oh, he sent me that clip. Brian sent me that clip, and I was dying, man.
You mean this one?
Trays, 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 trays. Trays, 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 tray, trays, 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 trays.
Yes, that one exactly. Yeah, that one. That one right
My
there.
wife walked away when she saw that.
Bro, I was.
I played that part.
It was funny yesterday when they was just when you and Cole were just mixing it up, and you had a couple of people in the chat like, "What the hell is like?" Dan was like, "What the hell is going on?
What's going on?"
He was like, "Yeah, what's going on here?"
Okay. Well, look, when Ray shows up, you don't know how that conversation is going to go.
No, not at all. Not
and
at all.
And yesterday,
shout out to my man Vicola. I love you, V-Lock, man. I love you, V-Lock, yo. But yeah.
Hey, what did Victor say? Victor said, "I have now been immortalized by Ray."
Oh, did Victor call you yesterday?
No, I called him.
Oh, okay.
I called him.
Okay.
And hello, trays, 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 trays. And I hear him cracking up already. Trays, trays, trays. And you know, I had to pull that song out.
Oh, Lord.
When I was doing my editing yesterday before I passed out, I pulled that song, listened to it in its entirety, and all I could think of with the opening, not even the opening bars, but the opening licks from the guitar is that.
Yes, exactly.
All I can think of when you hear anybody that knows the song "Smoke on the Water" and how it begins, I played that yesterday to try to get this clip I'm going to play again out of my head, and it didn't work. Because all I can hear when those opening notes play is
trays, 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 tray, trays, 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 tray, trays, 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 trays.
That last note right there,
bro. That seriously that broke me that day, yo. It broke me.
Oh, it broke me.
It broke me yesterday. It would have me dying. Like he just came out like, yo. I'm like this fool, man.
Yep.
Like,
this idiot, this fool.
You should have.
Oh man.
You should have seen it from my end. So when I unveiled that.
And y'all know I try to be as stoic as I can, as much as I can
know.
when I'm on, and it's just I couldn't hold it in.
I know. It's just I was looking it just in the backstage. I'm looking at the both of you. I'm seeing it's like in stereo. I'm seeing Brian get out the picture, and then I see you guys get out the picture at the same time. I was done after that.
You couldn't hold your character.
No, I couldn't. I was done after that.
You couldn't hold your character.
Let's put a wrap on that one because we just
wait a minute. We could have ended the show right there because after the dueling elements that Cole and I did twice,
and the whole time I'm going through, I'm dueling elements with Brian. I'm like, wait until they get a load of the Trey song. Wait until they get a load of it, and that's all I'm thinking. I'm just wanting to get to that part.
I played the dueling elements for Jody, and her question to me was, "What do y'all be thinking in the morning?"
We don't be thinking.
We
Jody.
don't.
And
she knows that.
We don't be thinking in the morning
because as she gets up and goes to get ready for bed, I get a kiss and she goes, "I answered my question." I said, "What's your answer, baby?" I said, "Y'all don't think in the morning." I lost it when she said that.
We don't. We have no sense in the morning whatsoever.
Because we listen, Cole sends the whip around, sends the slate, I beg your pardon. And lately, we don't even get to segment 3 or 4 before this show goes off the rails. Foul Players Radio. Is that wise? Yes, it is.
Oh, my man, Mike. Yep. What's going on?
Mike and I are going to do an interview, and we have it scheduled for my baby girl's birthday, March 6th.
Oh, now Mike Spedding is so if y'all have ever seen the commercial with the Viking that sings,
yes,
so that's Mike.
That's Mike. Yeah,
That's Mike.
That's Mike.
He that is Mike. He is a great dude, man. I love him. He's one of
I love Mike.
He's one of again, it's amazing the connections I've made through podcasts and the relationships I've been able to build. Mike is definitely
Just
one of them.
Just in the past 2 years when you and I have connected.
Yeah, it's the relationship. And again, Cole's a prime example, man.
Mhm.
He is in under a year, he is one of my best friends in the industry. In fact, in life, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt.
Here's
honestly.
Here's what happened yesterday when Cole played, when we ended Dueling Elements and Cole played this. Here's the reaction they were in from everybody.
Trays, 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 trays.
Yo, Victor, you wanna let him get away with that, Victor? Oh man, Victor.
And Cole's gone. What in the Vita Blue, Yellow Belly, Red Blooded hell was that?
Gone.
Because you don't.
If I said
off air, you don't
I started saying
you played our butts off.
Look, you played
Brian
this.
is dying.
You just played it. We got Cool in the backstage. Dude,
dying right now. He's dying.
Looking
right now.
just like the three of us did yesterday. What's up, Cool?
What's up, Mr. McCain?
Bro, I seen it last night when you had posted it, Cole.
Yeah.
Wait. It's like I said, Cole tried so hard to pull it back together.
Couldn't do it.
He just couldn't. He couldn't.
And then when I said, what in the Vita Blue, Yellow Bellied, Red Blooded hell was that? He fell out.
I was done.
Oh no, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap.
It was a
wrap.
You couldn't continue the show after that. We was just dying.
Y'all some wild dudes, man.
Listen.
What's going on, my brother? What's
Wait
going
a minute.
on? Cool?
Wait a minute. Let's go to the Fanatics feedback zones. Go to Jacksonville. Playmaker says Cole Johnson needs to be put in the train. And he backs it up with "Damn you, Cole."
That's what you give a business Playmaker.
Cool Breeze McCain. How are you, sir? Says Victor. Say, we got a great network of folks that join us every morning, and it's only going to get bigger and better. When I played that clip, I see Cool about to fall out of his chair.
Bruh.
And this is after you took a drink.
But it's kind of no, but
Cool
it's funny.
takes a drink. And
you shared it yesterday. You shared it yesterday, and it's still funny as hell now.
Yeah,
I know.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mentioned dueling elements between Cole and I, and as soon as Cole started, I think I knew which way I wanted to go, but then Cole kept coming back with it. Here's what happened.
Son. Infinity Trash. That's what you are, Victor Law. Infinity Trash, son.
Why the you love?
Infinity Trash all day long, son.
Why the
Infinity Trash all day long, son.
Why the
all day long, son. That's
why
what
the
look at the screen. Look at the screen, son. You go see the rest of the show. Look at the screen, son. Look at the screen, son. Look at the screen. The screen, son. Look at the screen. Infinity Trash.
Why the
all day, every day. This what you
Oh,
gonna
Lord.
see there. You can see the last screen.
Stop the
You can see the last screen.
How did
the white
Ice
letter with the
Cube-
Victor Law. And you see the hot break then. Oh my Black Infinity Tray with the white piper.
you were finished.
And I
Hey,
tried
son.
to
You were finished.
File it in your memory bank, son. I want you to see.
You were finished.
I want you to see all this.
You were
all this.
you were finished.
All this.
You were finished.
All this. The moment I
you were
saw the retort video, all this. I committed to
you
go
were-
all this. All this. All this.
I'm getting too old.
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 All
I'm
this.
getting too old.
All this. What? See it. What? Film it. What?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Take it for priority. What? Did you, son? What? Infinity trades with the law. Infinity trash. What? That's who is, son. What?
Ray, got a question, Ray.
Victor Law. What? Infinity trash. What?
Oh, man. I'm sitting here crying.
Oh man.
I'm sitting here crying. Oh, yes. That's a drop. That's a drop now.
As soon as I saw the retort video, I was like, okay, I know exactly how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see how long he will hit that retort video.
Yes. And every time I hit it, you came back with that. I tried to keep control for as long as I could. Oh, this.
Bruh.
Oh, Lord. Let's take a short break. Cool McCain joining us, and at the bottom of the hour, Jalen Brown, WNBA agent, will join us as well. Don't forget the Brian Snow Show today, 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll try to compose ourselves, but it ain't going to work. Back in a minute.
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had a workout with the Cincinnati Bengals. And, signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in. The Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And then we got Lions wide receiver Williams is debuting this week as a starter. That's something to look at as far as the eye test goes. And then another one on the eye test is Mostert. It might be coming back to Miami. And we can see if he has a role in this offense and see if he can be viable for the next couple weeks coming and help us in the playoffs and possibly towards a championship. That would be very nice because he's sitting on my bench right now.
Because we take this job so serious.
The f*** is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
All this. And we got a little one debuting today.
Uh-oh.
Grandson. Just say hi. You gonna say hi? Say hi to everybody. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Is that Bryson?
This is Bryson. Yes, it is.
That's the grandbaby?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryson.
Say hi, Bryson. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Say hi.
No, that might
You're not gonna say hi?
That might
He
the bomb,
wants to
granddad.
play with the toys.
No, he wants to press all my buttons on here because my room got bright lights, so he wants to touch all the bright lights.
Folks, it's not buttons anymore. It's buttons.
Touch all the buttons.
And that was on a live show too when Wise was in the background. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it.
Do not press that button.
Press that button. And I haven't been able to say it correctly since.
Oh man.
And of course, we broke cool before he even came on this morning.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey,
With that,
Glad to have you aboard, man.
Glad
Yes,
to
sir.
have
Hey,
you.
I don't know if y'all have talked about it yet, but Wise got the new streamlined do, bro. Love it, love it.
Oh,
Oh, you mean
I
a haircut? You mean a haircut? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I introduced him.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I introduced
that.
him.
Cole made sure to put that
Yeah.
in the introduction. 8 minutes before we welcome Jalen Brown, Playmaker says Cole tried to set me up yesterday. I didn't take the bait. Yes, you did. Vikalach. I had a near 10-minute segment surrounding me. I could not be more grateful. Thank you all. Hey,
Bro,
Victor,
what you
I
do
will
to the
make
show,
sure.
man, that's just a bit. That's just a small amount of what we could do in
Yep,
return, bro.
I will make sure I cut this and send it to you so you could really, really immortalize it.
Yes.
Ryan McCoffey, the listeners in Atlanta are all saying, what in the all types of blue hell after listening to that bit? Listen, they were saying that yesterday when they replayed the show. Of course, we're on WQEE 99.1, the heartbeat of Atlanta. Cool McCain, Cole Johnson, and yours truly. Cool, I saw your video talking about one Carson Wentz.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. I heard that you went to borrow how
2.5 minutes.
To borrow how Wise was said. I heard that you went off.
You went off
on Wentz being released from the
and listen,
I had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share. That's all.
A couple. My ass.
I have said on this show, I said all you have to do is ask the question to Cool. So what do you think about Carson Wentz? And all you had to do is just step back and watch Cool just eviscerate him for the next 5 minutes.
Wait a minute. Cool. Listen, Carson Wentz is to Cool is what LeBron James is to me.
Yeah,
because someone asked me a question about LeBron, and everybody else will just step back, put a microphone in front of me, and they'll all tell me what Cole tells me every Wednesday. That's to Cook. That's Cool McCain's reaction to Carson Wentz.
That's probably true, man.
Probably. What?
I just want to leave a little bit of doubt, man. Just a little bit.
You can't.
He's what you said. The most Philadelphia fans to me.
Oh gosh, I bet.
Lord, yes.
Lord,
yes.
I had a colleague of mine celebrate her birthday earlier in the week, and she actually showed a flashback pic of when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and there was a parade in Philly, and there was a cat there actually was wearing a Wentz jersey, and so I typed under the picture, I said, "What a difference 5 years make."
Oh,
you will not see somebody in Philadelphia sport a Wentz jersey.
2 years is all it took.
2 years.
That's true.
It just took that injury.
Yeah.
And he was done. It just took that injury. 4 minutes before Jalen Brown shows up, we're just having fun with the man in charge of the Eagles Elite podcast. That's Mr. Cool McCain. Welcome to you, and thank you for joining us. Man,
gentlemen,
your evisceration of Carson Wentz just in that short 2-minute video was legendary.
It seems as though you have a hatred for him that goes beyond he just was ineffective as an Eagles starting QB.
Well, yeah. That's obvious.
Yeah.
I see that. All you have to do, I mentioned the injury that finished Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is take a peek at their playoff game against Seattle.
Yeah, December, what was it? First, second, or third, 2017. That basically was the end. To me, that was the end of Wentz's career.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. What made you start the Play Caller Sports Network?
Well, we started Play Caller Sports. It's actually a show that me and my guy Steven Box we were attempting to do before, but technology hadn't quite gotten to the point where in different places you can kind of come together and do it, or we didn't know enough. So about 4 years ago, we started, playing everything. We tried some different things to get us both on live at different places. Didn't quite work, but then we, figured out some things, upgraded some tech a little bit, and got to the point where we could, actually do the show. After we started doing the show for a little bit, we were approached by a network who will remain nameless, but Snowman knows exactly who it is.
Yes,
I
do.
Ended up being part of them for a while. There wasn't a lot of benefit for us So we had talked about leaving. We were going to hang around a little bit longer, just to kind of see, you know, if some of the get promises were going to come to fruition. Um, my co-host was gung ho about like, yo, this is not going to work. I was like, well, let's just give it a chance. So we gave it a little bit more of a chance, and he was completely correct. Long story short, so we ended up, leaving there. And it's funny, like sometimes people will act like they're the reason behind your creativity, right? And someone attempted to do that, but to make a long story short, I'm a grown man.
Yes,
yes, sir.
Whether I'm with someone or not, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do, right?
That's right.
If you can't come whoop my A and make me, then I'm gonna do what I want to do, right?
Can we get that clip?
That's right.
Can we get that?
I'll say it again for you.
Please.
Please say it again.
Can't whoop my A and make me do something, I ain't doing nothing.
Thank you.
You see a grown man gonna have to do this to me. And then
and Cool and I have talked. Cool and I have talked, and I told him straight out, whatever shows you air, I want to increase visibility and air it on my network.
We're gonna work some things out.
Good.
Visibility is always a
and what we say, and what did we say a year ago, Cool, about that particular network that was going to fall by the wayside? Because when they left, I got a phone call, and all Cool said to me was, "We left."
Yep.
90 minutes later, a foundation has been laid, and that's all I'll say. Playmaker chiming in. Oh, that network. Yeah. Yeah. You know the one we're talking about.
And the thing is, man, I don't hold ill will, because I actually appreciate that particular network, though, because had they not shown me everything not to do, the network that I am actually a part of now, which is the Sports Empire Network, I wouldn't have certain things, right? It just made me say, you know what, man, I need to find the right fit for me. I'm not a kid. You're not gonna tell me what to do. Now, you can say, I don't want you to do this on my thing, cool, but you can't tell another grown man or woman what they can and can't, what kind of show they can and can't do, who they can and can't have on, and all this stuff. And
treat me like a human. Treat me like a human being. Treat me like an adult.
It's funny that y'all talk about that, right? Because me and Brian, that's how me and Brian got connected, because of a certain someone that had his network.
That will remain nameless.
We call him Voldemort. Anyway, so it's like he got all these talented people together, right? And he started screwing he ain't do nothing, but everybody else, he started screwing them over and doing all this nonsense.
Yep.
And
talking all this noise.
And actually, Michael Sped in Foul Players Radio, he was part of that group as well. And now we're all together. Like a bunch of us is together. We're all good friends. We all are creating some great content together.
Right.
And I have to thank him for uniting me with Brian, because without connecting with Brian, I wouldn't have met Cole. I wouldn't have met Cool. So
and
funny how life is, man.
And the NFC Beast wouldn't have happened.
None of that, and none of the stuff that's been going on would have happened had it not been for that individual. So big shout out to that individual. I'm not going to say his name, but
we know who that is.
Yeah,
it's like what the Bible says, man. What others mean for bad, God intends for good.
Yeah, Playmakers. That's
Playmakers says it's funny how some of us were a part of that network and we still connected together. Yep, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
and,
look, Mike agreed too.
And your boy, I was saying your boy co-signed on that. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, we're going to get together this month. All right. You already gave me a date and a time. I'm going to make sure that gets honored.
And today I get to be a guest on the Brian Show Snow today.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Is someone trying to play? Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Victor says, is someone trying to play the Malika Andrews strategy? That's foul. I love it, but that's foul.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Let us welcome WNBA agent with a big old smile on her face, the lovely Jalen Brown. She joins
Good
us.
morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm well. I am
morning,
well.
good morning.
Good to be
Where are
here.
Where are you located, hon?
So I am officially located in a small town called Williamston, North Carolina. But I'm back and forth between Hampton Roads and like the Charlotte area.
See,
So
she's cool already. She's in Carolina. You're cool.
Yeah, she's over here by me.
Yeah, but she's around your neck of
She's
the
in
woods. Cool.
She's in Carolina, and y'all know I have a big time affinity for North Carolina.
awesome.
What got you into being a WNBA agent? Tell us that story.
Okay, so I mean, long story short, I was a standout athlete at Elizabeth City State University, and my overall goal was to go overseas and eventually play. And while waiting to do that, I ended up going to start as a grad assistant at Hampton University. Just as a backup plan, I always wanted, to know exactly how that process worked. And during that, I had contracts, in the workings. I had a contract in Switzerland that my representative was looking over for me. And I want to say in January, that's when we found out about COVID and stuff happening. And then officially in March, the country got shut down. And from there, it was like, okay, what do I do now? Do I continue school? Do I, continue to pursue to try to go overseas? And after calculating, how everything was going, I was like, I think my best bet right now is to, continue throughout school and see how things work. And one of my internships, a part of my graduate program was to be an agent assistant. And I ended up basically what I like to call the dirty work, staying up late at night, early in the morning to talk to the presidents and managers, of overseas teams. And I was like, if I'm doing all the networking and connections, I might as well just, take this leap of faith and start being my own agent. And that's exactly what I did. I wanted to know the business. So I was like, I might as well just go ahead and do this. And it's been a pleasure so far.
We absolutely love that story. So you're a Hampton Pirate?
I am.
Hampton Pirate. So you got started with that. Then all the business with the NIL comes out with different athletes. And Jalen said, you know what? If I can dive into being a WNBA agent, let me see what being an NIL consultant. Tell us that story.
So NIL, of course, came along with the trending in sports and making sure that we stay abreast of everything that's happening. And so for us, it was making sure that we can, not just serve those who are looking to go professionally, but to offer some services as well to, high school athletes as well and college athletes. And so after doing a little bit of research about NIL, because what a lot of people don't know is the rules for NIL differ per state. And so for us, it was making sure that where we are in our current niche markets, that we're able to, service those who are interested, make sure that our athletes, are educated about, how the business works and, being able to get sponsorships and endorsements, what that tax write-off look like at the end of the year, just making sure that they were educated. And so for me, that was the biggest thing, is making sure that these athletes have guidance when they do these things, because you don't want it to, backfire on the back end, and then, you not have anyone there to, help rescue you out of that situation. So for me, I'm a proactive person, not a reactive. And I'm like, if I can help these athletes, better themselves and get their names out there and make, some revenue off of their name, image, and likeness, why not do that? And as well as, educate them, when I know that's one of my passions as well, too.
So what has been the toughest thing for you about both of those services? Because, the WNBA product has been, I'll say it honestly, put through the ringer so many times and criticized so many times over. And to have you dive in, and be an agent for the players is absolutely terrific. What's been the toughest part of that?
The toughest part, I would say, on the WNBA side, is always going to be, for me, losing sleep. It's not even the workload. When you have to get up and talk to these, presidents and managers in different time zones. it takes a toll on you. I mean, if I just be completely honest, it does take a toll on you, losing sleep and, just trying to make sure um, that you're awake and that you have, make sure that you stay prompt for your other meetings that's coming. Um, in regards to NIL, I think is the evolving part of it because there's nothing solid as of yet when it comes down to NIL,
Right.
except the fact that players can make money off of it. But the fact that every state differs, you actually have to prepare for whatever it is that these players, whichever college they choose, you have to be prepared to be educated on those rules in that state, not necessarily where that athlete is originally from. So I think for me it's just making sure that you stay on your p's and q's when it comes down to understanding the rules per individual state.
Do you think we're ever going to see some uniformity when it comes to NIL across the 50 states, or are we going to be stuck in a point where every state has its own rules when it comes to that?
I think eventually we will see some uniformity when it comes to NIL. I think it's going to take some time though, just because it's new to the NCAA. It's new to the universities. Everyone is trying to curate URL to be tailored to their specific state. And I think if we find some good foundation in regards to rules and how we want these players to go about, executing their endorsements and sponsorships, we'll be okay. Right now, everybody's kind of sort of spread out everywhere. But if we do find some uniformity, I think it'll be a lot easier for everyone to navigate from, the agents to the coaches to the players.
Jalen Brown joining us, talking all things being a WNBA agent and an NIL consultant. When you dove in to be a WNBA agent and you're talking about losing sleep and making sure you keep with your schedule, and I'm learning a lot about time management myself, being CEO of Snowman Multimedia and doing the shows that I do. Is it, and I know this is a weird question, but go with me on this one. With everything that you do and all that you talk about losing sleep, is it better for you to write your appointments down or type them into a computer? Because I'm doing both and sometimes I still miss.
I'll be honest. How I prevent from missing is I have my Apple Calendar, I have Google Calendar, um, I have my notebook, my reminders. I actually sync my Apple Calendar and my Google Calendar to make
Okay.
sure that I don't miss. So as many as
Yeah.
as many reminders as possible, to make sure that I stay on top of these things. But it can get a
Right.
little bit overwhelming at times.
It doesn't get, how crazy does it get, especially during the season? How crazy does it actually get?
So actually, during the season is probably smooth sailing because you've already done, the preparation to actually get them there. During the
Mhm.
season is really like the fun part. You get to post content, you get to post, the accolades, you get to post, the victories, the smooth stuff. The hardest part is the contract negotiations. Again,
Mhm.
that time getting up, making sure that if you have a player who's, just so happen to be picky about, different things that they want to see on their contracts, or different things that they want to have, in regards to housing and transportation, you kind of sort of have to send that contract back and forth until your client is pleased with it. So I think for me, that's the hardest part because again, if I'm working with someone overseas, I have to get up and make sure that I'm on their time as well. Here in the States, it's not as challenging because an hour or two difference not gonna make it's not really gonna make or break me. But the 8 hours when you got players in third world countries
Mhm.
and it's 2 o'clock in the morning where you are, and it's 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock where they are, and they just get in the offices. You want to make sure that your email is the first one that they see, so that before they get busy, they can handle your business. Absolutely, absolutely, that's the hardest part.
Let me go around the horn. I'll pose a question to the panel and I'll start with Jalen. What can the WNBA do to market itself better and bring in more sponsors and bring in more fans? Because a lot has been said and argued
Yes.
about the disparity between the visibility of the WNBA and the NBA. What could the WNBA do to change all of that?
Me personally, I think the WNBA, we have those players who are on the WNBPA staff that, kind of make up the voice of the WNBA players. I
Hmm.
think we should take more initiative into listening to those players, because they understand firsthand exactly, what's going on. Social media, content and things are trending. So definitely paying attention to the trends in social media, just simply because, I mean, for me, everything is about customer service. Even with me being an agent, it's about me serving, my players. WNBA, if you want to grow your audience, it's about understanding the audience that you serve. You don't have to necessarily, break away from exactly what it is that you're doing, but in some shape or form, you have to be able to improvise the things that are trending and the things that are moving these crowds forward when it comes down to getting people in to the stadium. They've done a good job of using ESPNW, using Slam, using overtime, to grasp the attention of more, of a younger audience. But we have to figure out how to get what I like to call the season generation more engaged. They tend to, stick to their regular sports, or their how can I say, more popular sports. Women's sports is, kind of sort of on the come up. I mean, if you just so happen to have to go back to, writing newspaper articles, and allowing that, to be one of your strategies, then for me is, do what works for them, do what works for your audience. I mean, it's to me, it's simple as just hearing them. If it's something as simple as creating a survey, to see what they like or what they dislike. You have to be willing, to serve your audience. If that's what they like, that's just what they like. Even if you don't feel, as the president or the manager, um, that it's not, appealing. It's what they like.
Let's go to Cool, who covers the WNBA as well as myself. Your thoughts on how they can get marketed and be marketed better?
Definitely. Just want to first say, Jalen, shout out to your Vikings as well from Elizabeth City State, since Snowman didn't mention
Thank
them as
you.
well. I'm gonna go ahead and shout them out for you
Thank
too.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. And for me, I think it's people who cover the teams, kind of doing some of the things that you were saying as well, seeing what's working, helping out the teams, putting the focus, talking about it, starting to branch out, do shows, WNBA specific, and bringing it to the mainstream. There's some people who are always going to say, "Oh, women's basketball isn't as good as men's." Whatever, just brush to the side. Don't waste our time. Let's focus on the people who at least want to give the WNBA a chance. Put it in their mind, making them aware of the drafts happening, make them aware of the season starting, All-Star game, off-season things, keeping the WNBA, and if you cover a specific team as well, in the audience mind. I think that's very important, as well as continue to promote it, right? Not just for a month or two, but really continue to promote it. People saying, "Oh, Cool doing another show. I know he's gonna talk about the WNBA." Yes, I am. If you don't want to
Yes,
get too far, then
same
don't
here.
watch my shows.
Please.
Same here.
But
Same here.
that's the thing.
Upstairs to Cole. How beneficial would it be for the WNBA for each team? And I know Jalen's going to have a smile on her face when I pose this question. How beneficial would it be for each team to have their own radio squad?
Well, I mean, to Jalen's, and it's a pleasure that you're on the show, Jalen. To Jalen's and to Cool's point, that goes into promotion, that goes into marketing, that goes into putting your brand out there, because you need to have those who aren't necessarily the front office people or the owner or lower management or the coaches or the players, because they're going to do that anyway, but they need others to do that as well. And nothing helps a product, no matter what industry you're talking about, than word of mouth. So yeah, if you have a radio or TV or vlog sponsor of the show, of the team, yeah, that will give you more access. Now to your broader question, uh, I believe WNBA needs to take a page out of what the NCAA women's brand does. See how they get their product out to the nation, and take a couple of those. They don't have to do everything the same, but take a couple of those nuggets, sprinkle it onto the game, and I think they'll find that they will have that reach that they will have that they will get as the product proceeds and it goes on. And Jalen actually said a wonderful point of know your customer base. I really believe that in the first 5 years that the WNBA was born, they catered to the customer base.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an energy and felt an energy that I haven't seen since. And a lot of that energy was girls, women, and of course men who love the product, but it was girls and women. And I heard that type of crowd that was going to these games. And it was beautiful to actually see.
Mhm.
And you don't see that now.
No, you don't. I
It's
mean,
almost
even on school, what they have field trip days. When I covered the
Right.
Sky in
Mhm.
Chicago, when they played at the Rosemont Horizon, they had field trip days, and the joint was full, 18,000.
Yes.
And
And most of
parents, and most of them were girls.
most of them were girls and women. Yes.
Mhm. I mean, when they turn off the lights and do the spotlight introductions, I mean, Jalen, you said it, and Cole repeated it. Knowing your customer base.
Yeah.
And that was when the Sky were getting to the height of their popularity. That was 2014, their first finals appearance. Man,
And here's the problem. So now you start to see the game go in the way of, okay, well, if you think that the WNBA can hang with the NBA, well, we'll try to do things. Not saying that this is conscious or subconscious, but it seems to have steered in this direction. That the game has to be as if it is played like a man's game. And I'm thinking, no, you don't have to do that.
Right.
The game that you play is perfect as it is. And actually, fundamentally, it's better than how the men do it.
Wise has to depart, and so do we. So we got about 90 seconds left. So Wise, let me pose this to you. You following it as well. How big would it be for the audience to get back to what they were doing before, and that's catering to the girls and the women who were like really intent on following the WNBA?
It's crazy because women are actually some of the biggest spenders in all the United States, right?
Yes.
So why not cater to them? Why not push the product on them, especially when it's other women being successful, other women doing some great things? And I feel like the NBA has gotten away from that. I think they've really gotten away from the fact of really promoting the product on the court compared to when I started first. When it first started, I remember when it first started with Rebecca Lobo and all of them, and Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper and all of them. They were some great, exciting games, and even now, some of these games are exciting. But it seems to me like they don't really care about it anymore. It's like they just, it's all right. We're stuck with this league. Let's put it out there. Nah,
Yeah, it's an NBA afterthought.
Yeah, and some of these owners need to really invest into these teams and into the market. And branding and marketing is big.
It is.
And they're not marketing and branding like how when the league first started, you would see NBA ads all over, WNBA ads all over
the place.
You will be promoting the Liberty, they'll be promoting the Rock, the Comets, all these great teams. And to me, it seems like they've just put it to the side now. It's like, okay, yeah, we have the WNBA, but we're not going to really invest the money that we should invest in the product.
Well, it's sparking an idea in my head. I'll talk about it
another
another time.
One
Go
of the
ahead,
things
Cole.
I want
Finish it off.
to bring up was I think some of the cities you mentioned in the comments, the Charlotte team here in Charlotte, some of those teams that were instrumental in the early years of the league are now gone.
no longer there.
So when you so when you're thinking about ways to build things up, maybe slight expansion, right? Maybe not going too far, but maybe adding a couple of teams, right?
Yeah.
Just to get back in some of those legacy cities that did support the league very well. For whatever reason, the teams are gone, but getting back in some of these legacy cities. So when we're looking at this, everyone talks about going to these new places and all these new ideas. What about going back to some of these legacy cities that were successful with the teams and bringing teams back to those? And also, I think back in the day when you went, I used to go with a friend of mine and his daughter, right, to the WNBA games. You had a lot of young girls that were like, "Oh, I could play basketball professionally now at home, right?
Yeah,
Marketing,
exactly.
getting back to that. Women saying, you know, maybe I played, but I can't play anymore due to injury, life happens, whatever. But being in situations where you can go out and see people who maybe you played with or you heard about when you were playing, different things like that. Those are connections that I think the WNBA is missing out on as well. They have done better, I think, to the broader audience, but the core audience, they got to kind of pull that in as well. It's okay to market to a broader audience, but don't forget the audience that's going to get you where you want to go as well.
Right.
You got to kind of find a way to balance the two.
Jalen Brown, WNBA agent and NIL consultant, joining us here on the program. I'd love to have you back for some more WNBA conversation.
I love this conversation.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, it's sparking an idea in my head. I'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to start a WNBA show. And cool, I'd love to have you. Jalen, I'd love to have you. And
Sure.
anybody that follows the WNBA as intently as I do, come on down. I'd love to have you.
Absolutely. You'd be more than welcome.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen. You all have a great one.
You too, Jalen.
Great conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely a great conversation.
Yeah.
And we're out of time, so let's get on out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
then they are not big enough.
And quit. And to all the brown sexuals, quit taking L's, but I know that's not going to happen. And for all the went sexuals, quit taking L's as well. You know who's here tomorrow. I don't even have to say the name. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
They're went sex.